computer operating system. So uname is used to extracting details of operating system. Here you can see the explanation. Uname command is used for extracting the details like name, version or operating system running on the machine. Next, which cloud-based computing environment support rapid development? The development word is always related with PaaS. Platform as a services refer the cloud which on-demand environment testing, delivering, managing the software application. Platform as a service designed to make it easier to developer for quickly create web mobile apps without worrying about the setting up the managing underlying infrastructure of server storage. So this infrastructure as a service use require both software and hardware, and here SaaS is software as a service, software as a services. Okay, and CaaS is not a cloud-based computing system. Next, which of the possible not phase of software life cycle? So coding, testing, maintenance all are phase, but abstraction is not a phase of SDLC life cycle. Next, how many bits internet address is assigned to each host? So for TCP IP internet use in all communications, so 32-bit address is required for each host. Next, which type of network consists set of switches connected by physical link? So circuit switched network used as a physical link. Okay, so circuit switch required the physical link, and there is packet switch that no dedicated link required. But in circuit switching, physical path is there. Next, which of the following function is performed by loader? So loader is used to allocate memory, address dependent location, physically place the machine instruction and data into the memory. These all are work of loader. Allocation of memory of the program and address dependent locations such as address constant to corresponding allocated space. Okay, and physically it handle also physically place the machine instruction into the data into memory. So loader is a part of operating system that responsible for loading program and libraries. Next is data that user leave behind after using the internet is called digital footprint. Two type of footprint is there: active footprint and passive footprint. In passive footprint is made when information is collected from the user without the person knowing this is happening. Actual programming of software code is done during which phase? So development and documentation phase, actual coding is done. Next, which of the following is not a part of net etiquette? No copyright violation should be there, and respect for the privacy, avoid cyberbullying. All of the above is a part of net etiquette. Next, which of the following is an example of SaaS? Example of SaaS is Google App. Google App is a software as a services. So these are the example. Next, the physical location of a record determined by a formula that transforms a file key into a record location is called hashed file. So physical hash file or file key are inserted to the record location by using a formula of the hash key, and the later the location of each of this file key can also be retrieved by using this formula. Okay, so this is the answer. So hash file, basically it is a physical location of record determined by a formula is there for hash file and to transfer the file into a record location. Next, in the absolute addressing mode, which is true? The address of the operand is inside the instruction. So this is for true about absolute addressing. Address of the operand is inside the instruction. So an absolute address is represented by the contents of register. This addressing mode is absolute in the sense that it is not specified retrieve relative to the current instruction address. Next, a processor needs software interrupt to obtain system service which need execution of privileged instruction. So a processor needs what? A processor needs software interrupt to obtain system service which need execution of privileged instruction. For execution we need software interrupt. So software interrupts are required by the CPU to obtain the system service which need execution of the privileged instruction. Next, which is the command that used for control the control that is grant and revoke DDL that is data control language. Inside this command we have grant and revoke, which mainly deals with the right, permission and other control of the database. Okay, so grant basically give the user access to privilege to database, and revoke withdraw user access privileges giving by using grant command. Next, which operation is used to extract a specified column from a table? So project command is used to extract a specific column from a table. Next, which of the following protocol provide confidentiality and authentication of an email? That is PGP, pretty good privacy. That is PGP popular used to encrypt and decrypt email over the internet, as well as authenticate message with digital signature and encrypted stored file. Next, in Unix.cat command is used which of the following uh, purpose? So .cat command display file content. .cat is basically concatenate command is very frequently used in Linux. It reads data from the file and gives their content as a output. It helps to create view concatenate the files. Next is in condition front equal to null represent in Q is empty. Next, the software requirement specification document should be avoided discussing which of the following. So we can see a software requirement specification document should be avoided by using design specification. This is a description. SRS is a description of a software system to be developed, laying out functional and non-functional requirements and may include a set of use cases that describe the interaction the user will have with the software. Design specifications should not be part of SRS. Next is unauthorized use of other trademark on product uh, and services is called trademark infringement. So trademark infringement is unauthorized use of unauthorized use of trademark. If anyone use unauthorized user of trademark, that means it violates the trademark infringement. Next is Bootkit. Bootkit is what? Which of the following is a malware that modifies the boot sector? Boot sector is that is a Bootkit is a malware. Okay, so malicious program that designed to load as early as possible in the boot process in order to control all stages of operating system startup, modifying system code and drivers before antivirus and other security command are loaded. Next, logical bomb. What is logical bomb? Which of the following is a species of malicious code inserted into an operating system or software application that implements a malicious function after a certain amount of time or specific conditions are met? That is called logical bomb. So logical bomb is inserted intentionally that is designed to execute under the circumstances such as lapse of certain amount of time or the failure of a program user to respond the program command. So that is called logical bomb. Logical bomb inserted intentionally which harm our operating system or software application. ठीक है. Next is Unix command which use make directory, that is mkdir. Next is which type of operating system guarantee that critical tasks complete on time. So hard real time system guarantee that critical tasks complete on time. Next is which of the following is amount of time it takes from when a request was submitted until the first response is produced. So answer is response time. Response time is the time from the submission of a request to time of the first response by the CPU. Okay, first response is response time. Here response keyword is there. Response related to response time. Next is that is Brady anomaly may occur in first out method. Next is aging is what? Aging is gradually increasing the priority of the process that wait for the long time. Next is concurrent access to shared data. Answer. Data inconsistency occurs due to concurrent access to the shared data. Data inconsistency is occur when we concurrent share data with the user. In other words, we can say that when multiple user access the data, then the data inconsistency is occurred. Next, 1 petabyte is equal to that is 1 petabyte. 1 petabyte is equal to 1048576 GB. So that is 1024 multiply 1024. Next, what is three-dimensional computer generated situation that simulate the real world? That is virtual reality. Virtual reality is the use of computer technology to create simulated environment. Virtual reality places the user inside three-dimensional experience. Instead of viewing the screen in front of them, users are immersed in and interact with 3D world. So 3D world is related to virtual reality. Next is 4-bit is called nibble. What is the segmentation in operating system? Segmentation basically nothing but it is a memory management scheme supported user view of the memory. Logical address space is collection of segment. Logical address to tuples, segment number offset. These are there. Logical address consists of two tuples, segment number and offset. Next is when you want to delete the data from a data structure that is empty, this situation is called underflow. For empty data structure, it is underflow. Next, the software used to drive microprocessor based system is called assembler. Software used to drive microprocessor based system. Microprocessor based system is called assembler. The software used to drive microprocessor based system called assembler and it used to assemble the language. Next is which of the following service is responsible for changing source IP address of packet to the IP address of the public interface on the router, that is NAT. So network address translation is the process of changing the source and destination IP address port. Address translation reduces the need for IPv4 public addresses and hide private network address. The process is usually done by router or firewall. So NAT basically network address translation, that is a process of changing the source and destination IP address. Next, what indexed allocation of file system implementation. So all the pointers to scattered blocks are placed together in one location, that is called indexed allocation. Next is video conferencing is example of full duplex. Next, which type of switching method is used? Packet transmit in packet switching. Next, FTP port number is 21. 21 and 22 is the port number of FTP. Next, 171.16 is network number. That is a network number. It is a class B address, and class first two number are represent to the network part, while the remainder represent the host part. Next, what is the process of allocating bandwidth? Uh, Different source of that is time division multiplexing. So TDM is a method of putting multiple data stream in a single signal by separating the signal into many segments, each having very short duration. Next is a routing issue has occurred in your internetwork. Which is the following type of examine the isolation? So router is the answer. Routing issue is router. Next is LAN. 40 host LAN is connected with switch. So switch is a multi-port bridge which offer with a buffer and design can boost the efficiency and performance. Switch data link layer device. Switch is what? It is a data link layer device which can perform error checking before forwarding the data. Next is 8086 microprocessor has dash bit ALU. So 8086 is 16-bit ALU. In which of the following addressing mode the operand is specified in the instruction itself? So in immediate addressing mode, the operand is immediate addressing mode. The operand is specified in the instruction itself. In this mode, data is 8 bits or 16-bit long, and data is the part of instruction. So this is the work of immediate addressing mode. Uh, Operand specified instruction itself. Next is with the primary input device, that is monitor is a by user for command based interface, that is monitor. Keyboard are primary input device used to key in information other command function in text format to the computer. Keyboard button enable user to execute specific command to the computer. So which primary device is used for actually here answer is keyboard, not monitor. Monitor is the output device. Next, exclusive or there this is the exclusive or formula, that is a p bar plus a bar b, and this is exclusive NOR. Next, 16-bit microprocessor has how many memory? That is 16 KB, 64 KB. 16 multiply with 6. 16 multiply 4, that is 64. Next, what is the basic computation unit of the CPU? Cores. Cores is the basic computation CPU. Next is IEEE stand for number of standard number is 802.3 for all Ethernet standard. 802.3, that is media access control. IoT is called a network device that is embedded hardware software to communicate with other devices on the same network. Next, when a user deletes a file, empties the recycle bin, what happened to the file? So it is associated with entries in the FAT are removed. File allocation table are removed. Okay, when user delete a file and empties the recycle bin, then associated FAT file are removed. So and but the OS is not longer able to locate it. Next is we can write Python program in a file, save it, and then use the interpreter to execute it. So this is called all of the above. Interactive mode and script mode. Okay, so interactive mode and script mode both are available. Save it and then use the interpreter. Next is which of the following circuit uh, type is based upon the time, that is time or clock pulse, that is sequential circuit. Sequential circuit is based on the time and clock pulse. Next is not the function of data link layer, that is encryption. Encryption is not the function of framing, physical addressing, error control, all are function of data link layer. Which of the following are physical or virtual machines successfully used as instruction detection tool to detect threat? So honeypot is used. Honeypot is basically used for detection, the tool to detect the threats. When accessing a website, which icon can be seen in the address bar to indicate that the website is secure? So a padlock icon can be seen in the address bar to indicate that the website is secure. Next is if you share too much information, that is lead to identity theft. Next, which of the following threat is fraudulent manipulation of telephone signaling? That is freaking. Freaking is fraudulent manipulation of telephone signaling in order to make free phone calls. Next is a sender is employing public key cryptography to send a secret message to a receiver. Which of the following? So sender encrypt using receiver public key. Next is TCP and FTP are used which layer of OSI model, and that is transport layer. FTP also used in transport layer. Okay. What is the ARP? ARP basically very confusing point. It is associated to IP address to MAC address. So ARP basically associated with IP address to a MAC address. IP address to a MAC address. Next, go back in ARQ. A window size is given 62. The range of sequence number is 0 to 68. So what is ARQ? ARQ automatic repeat request. Next, which protocol is for flow control, not error control? That is BC both. Which protocol is for flow control? So, for BC. Selective repeat ARQ, stop and wait. Selective repeat ARQ, and third number is stop and wait, is used for flow control, not for error control. Not error control, okay. Next, so hybrid computer is the exhibit the both analog and digital computers. Next is What is the following code? That is message is given at the 24/7 print message. Username is 247 print user ID username. So what is the output? Output is at the 24/7 and user ID is 247. ठीक है. Very easy this one. 2 minus 2j, it is a complex number. Next library in Python is plotting the graph, that is matplotlib. Next is what term is used to identify the people coming together in a various geographical location to complete some task online, that is virtual team. Next is in which type of scheduling particular time slot is assigned to process in a circular way, that is time slot is related to round robin. Which of the for this is logic gate and not the universal gate. So we know that NAND and NOR gate are universal gate. Okay. Next for JK, there is race around condition. Race around condition is JK equal to 1. ठीक है, that is JK related to race around condition. Next is by which method we can create our own library in Visual Basic. Answer is given. So now, which is the pandas library, that is data frame and series. Next is last in first out, that is stack. Next, which of the following used to create the data frame, that is 1 2 3 4 pandas data frame for creating empty data. Next, panda dictionary, then data frame dot from records, then Johnson normalize. Okay. Next is what half adder sum given by P XOR Q. Next is which device circuit that has two AND gate. And two XOR gate, that is full adder. Full adder is 202 XOR gate. ठीक है. DBMS which insert command, that is insert into table name, column 1 column 2 values, value 1 value 2. Next is which command adds, delete and modify, that is alter command used for add, delete and modify. Which command operation cannot be rollback, that is drop and truncat. A foreign key is set of attribute in a table that refers to the primary key of another table. Uh, which of the following language is used to modify the structure of the table? That is data definition language. Next, which of the following prototype model in software engineering? That is rapid prototype model, evolutionary prototyping, incremental prototyping. Which of the methodology is the combination that is agile methodology, combination of incremental and interactive approach. Positional index take integer that correspond to its position in the series starting with, form this in pandas. So positional index and label index, the positional index take an integer values that correspond to its position starting from 0, whereas label index are done by user. Pip install pandas used to install the pandas library. So what is the command to install pandas library? That is pip install panda. VoIP, that is voice over internet protocol. Which are the following example of plugin? All of the above. Flash Player Java are example of plugin. Plugin is a piece of software acts on add on the to a web browser and gives browser additional function. Plugin can allow a web browser to display additional content. Huh? কি? Hmm. Trap Trap is what an interrupt that cannot be disabled or ignored by the instruction of CPU or call, that is trap. Trap is a non-maskable interrupt. Non-maskable interrupt are those which cannot be disabled or ignored by the microprocessor. How many phases of capability maturity model in software development? That is total number of phases, 4 phases. 4 phases are there for capability maturity software development model. Next, which of the technology 8085, that is uh, 8085 pronounced 85 microprocessor. It is a 8-bit and 8086 is a 16-bit microprocessor designed for NMOS technology. Which of the RISC pipelining process computer architecture? Instruction fetch, instruction decode, execute. RISC basically are reduced instruction set computers. It was introduced to execute as fast as one instruction per clock cycle. This RISC pipeline helps to simplify the computer architecture design. It has 5 stages: instruction fetch, instruction decode, execute, memory access, write back. Which of the following analog converter, that is ASK, FSK and PSK, phase shift keying, frequency shift key and amplitude shift key. Which of the following is not a category of system maintenance? Is replacing user interface. Replacing user interfaces is a category not a category. Making backup copies of file, adding, deleting, adjusting record, providing system security is the category of system maintenance. But replacing user interface, that is not a category. Next, small bit of data stored as text file on a browser are called cookie. Next, this is how many bit if you count, that is 7. Next, for the program sorted output, ठीक है, sort sum of x. A it will pass, then key lambda x sum x. So if you sum na value, then you will get 5 plus 3, that is 8. 8 here, then 5 plus 5, 10. Then 12 plus 15, that is 27. Then 23 plus, that is greater, so 29. According to ascending order, it will be arranged. So in this program, we are sorting the list by passing lambda function the key during the call and sorting by getting the sum of the tuples. Now last question, which of the CSV function is done on a register, that is CSV list? This is the answer. Okay, thank you.